Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Saving Sunderland. In today's episode we have our Champions League quarter-final tie and our opponents are the Italian champions Juventus. So if we want to get the semi-finals of the Champions League and actually win the Champions League for once, we're going to have to get past them. But of course we've got plenty of fixtures to review since we last met. So after our demolition job of Sporting in the Champions League, we played QPR in the Premier League and we won 4-1. Goals from Jose Luis, Maximiliano Sugo, Lincoln and Luis Enrique Arans secured the victory. We then played Brighton in the Premier League and won 8-0. There's been plenty of games this season where we have just absolutely torn teams apart. 2 goals from Slough, 1 from Gudinho, 1 from Esparza, 2 from Rios and 1 from Villette secured the 3 points for us in an 8-0 Premier League victory. We then played Fulham in the FA Cup 6th round and we won 3-0. Goals from Villette, Alphans and Vinest securing it for us. We then played Manchester City in the Premier League at home and we won 5-1. 2 goals from Sugo, 1 from Rickson, 1 from Arans and 1 from Luis. Completed a really dominant performance. I thought Manchester City would be... I expected us to beat them, but I didn't expect us to beat them like this. They didn't really create too many opportunities and we managed to blow them away. And finally, in the final game before the Juventus tie, we played Crystal Palace and we drew 1-1. Really disappointing to draw in the Premier League at this point of the season because Manchester United in second place are not slowing down. So we are down now to a 5-point gap with 5 games remaining. I'm not expecting us to not win the league this season. You know, there was a point where we were 9 or 11 points clear, but we've been dropping points whilst they have not. So we'll just have to be a little bit careful going into the final 5 games. So that brings us to today, and the team out that's going to face Juventus will start with Pickford in goal, Matteo Rios, Oscar Pfeiffer and Jose Luis at centre-back. Rickson will be our right wing-back, as will Milagres will be our left wing-back. Ricardo Esparza and Phil Foden, our tried and trusted central midfielders. Luis Enrique Arans, Lincoln and Slough up front. Now Abdullah Sloughy, however you say his name, he's been an absolute revelation this season. He started 17 games in the Premier League, scoring 17 goals and 17 assists. That is just absolutely bonkers. So I'm going to try and give this boy more game time. He's obviously one of the players that has the most room to grow in terms of our squad as well. So it seems sensible to me to give him the games. But that'll be our bench. Younger Blout, Alphans Tierney, Sterlings, Velasquez, Villette and Gudinho. So Juventus line up with a 4-4-2. A couple of recognisable names in there. Spatafora always gives us some problems, but hopefully, I believe in the past we have dominated against Juventus going in the Champions League, so I'm hoping for the same today. We are at home in the first leg, which isn't great, but we'll see how it goes. And we kick off at the Stadium of Light, shooting from left to right. Let's just beat them like we beat Sporting. 5 minutes in, and Rickson has picked himself up an injury. Luckily, we have Alphans on the bench who can slot straight in. So I'm not too concerned, but hopefully that's not a long-term one because Rickson is one of the best right-backs in the game. Highlight now, Milagres with a corner and Oscar Pfeiffer gets his head on it, but not enough. As you can see, the other fixtures there, Atletico Madrid drew Red Bull Leipzig, Paris Saint-Germain drew Manchester City, and Real Madrid drew Manchester United. We'll get another corner. Milagres will Bentancur and clear, and can Juventus get the ball first? They cannot. Milagres now on this left-hand side because he gets the ball in, but the keeper can clear him. Esparza now's got the ball in centre midfield. He's got Michael Altan's got a lot of space, but he finds Arans. Lincoln's in the box. Lincoln puts it in front post. It's 1-0 Sunderland. We are in the lead in this game. We're performing really well and we've started brilliantly. As you can see here, Esparza drives forward from central midfield. They don't close him down really, so he's got all the time in the world. I thought he would have played it at Altan's, but Arans finds Lincoln in the box, making it 1-0. Luis Enrique Arans now's got the ball on the right hand side, but he gives it away and Juventus can break Spatafora. Oscar Pfeiffer gets in first and will win the ball back. Phil Foden now. He's got Luis Enrique Arans on the right hand side. He can get the ball in the box and Slough is there. He makes it 2-0. Luis Enrique Arans turns provider once again. And an excellent win by Oscar Pfeiffer there at that back. And Esparza does well to knock the ball down to Phil Foden. Phil Foden does what Phil Foden does. Drives in the midfield. Finds Arans on the right. And Slough is back post to put it in 2-0. Highlight now, Phil Foden with the corner, tries to get it in, but it's cleared. Slough on the edge of the box, finds Pfeiffer in the box. Do not take the strike, Pfeiffer, you haven't got the attributes for it. Lincoln now. Oh, Juventus have cleared, and can the break now? Spatafora finds Montiel in behind the defence. He's got the beating of his man. Pickford stands strong though. He's not going to beat him from that sort of angle, I would hope. Ricardo Esparza has picked up a knock, and I'm not going to risk him, particularly when we've got such talented players on the bench. We'll get Velasquez on in his place. Highlight now, Milagres on his left hand side finds Phil Foden. Slough down this left-hand side, get the balls in the box. Althans is there, it's cleared. Velasquez now down the right-hand side, gets the ball in again, but they're defending. Backs against the wall, really. Althans now with the ball in back post. Milagres is there, beats the keeper. It was a very, very tight angle. You wouldn't expect your left wing back to be able to put that in, but he has done. They were defending it well. They were peppering them with crosses. They were always clearing, but Phil Foden takes control of midfield, files Althans on the right-hand side, and Milagres, really, really tight angle, first-time shot, but he manages to get it in. 3-0. And that's it, 3-0, half-time, performing really well. We've made our 2 substitutions already, so I'm not in a hurry to make our 3rd in case of future injuries later in the match. The highlight from kick-off has continued, and Juventus have a free kick. They get in the box. Bentancur Montiel is there. Good save by Pickford. Now, if we can get out of this game without conceding a goal, because, 3-1 with an away goal looks a lot different than 3-0. Phil Foden dispossesses Juventus midfield, and Lincoln gives it straight back to Kenny Tete. Some good play by Juventus on the right-hand side, and they switch it to D'Amico on the left-hand side. They're going down the right-hand side now. Tete is overlapped. Can he get the ball into the box? He can. Spatafora is there. He hits the post, and Oscar Pfeiffer can clear. They have come out a lot better in this second half, but we break ourselves. Lincoln down this left-hand side. He gets the ball in. Luis Enrique Ranz is there. Phil Foden to Lincoln. Nearly. Bentancur now. Hanzic. Oh, he takes the strike. Nikola Hanzic. Is that our former centre-back? Hold on. Before that, we'll quickly see the goal. Nikola Hanzic on the boxer. Absolutely excellent strike. 3-1. 3-1's dodgy. Nikola Hanzic is our former centre-back. Can you remember him? We'd signed him on a free, and we had to let him go on a free because he couldn't get a work permit. He's now performing really well for Juventus and starting most games. And he's turned into quite a competent centre-back. I wouldn't say he wouldn't get in our team. Like, he has got good physicals as you would expect and good attributes in the right areas, but nah. Take a look at the ground, see what's happening in the other games. Manchester United are holding Real Madrid away from home 1-1. Paris Saint-Germain are 1-0 up against Manchester City, but they have missed a penalty as well, so that's interesting. Atletico Madrid and Red Bull Leipzig. I want whoever wins this in the semis. Highlight now, Althans on this right-hand side. Plays it to Phil Foden, who finds Slow. He's running all the way around the world. Milagres now down this left-hand side. Ball back post. Aranz is there. 4-1 is a lot more comfortable than 3. Some good play from Slow here. Carries the ball past the defenders who are oncoming. Milagres down the left-hand side. Gets the ball in back post, and Luis Enrique Aranz reacts first. The defender was asleep there. Didn't even realise he was there. 4-1. 88th minute, and there's a corner for Juventus. Bentancur takes it. Karaveev. Hanzic to Tillman. Althans with a challenge in. Camel break now. Milagres finds Luis Enrique Aranz on the right-hand side. He's got Lincoln and Slough performing. Slough's through. He's in behind the defensive foot. Oh, that is absolutely excellent play. Slough could have easily taken the strike there, and it would have been a very difficult shot, but the better ball was back post for Aranz, and he found it. Absolutely fantastic from him here. Lincoln gets it absolutely. He waits to the right time, finds the ball to Slough. He could have taken the strike there, and it would have been a difficult strike, but he finds Aranz back post. And that's why he's been so good this season. He is as good a finisher as anyone in our team, but also he's unselfish. 2 seconds remain in the match. That's going to be it. 5-1 Sunderland at home in the first leg. Now, of course, this doesn't mean we're through. We've still got a job to do away in Italy, but it will take a monumental bottle if we had to get beat now. And that's how the rest of the scores finished. They remain the same as when we talked about them. And as I said, I want whoever wins this tie. So we're here. It is match day in the second leg against Juventus in the Champions League quarterfinals. And of course, we go away from home with a 5-1 lead. So I am expecting us to just romp this and get ourselves through to the next round. But you never know. Something crazy could happen. So this is the team that's going to start today. Pickford in goal. Rios, Pfeiffer and Luis at centre-back. Michael Althans and Milagres as our wing-backs. Matteo Guendouzi is going to get the start today alongside Phil Foden. Abdullah Slough, Lincoln and Luis Enrique Aranz are going to get the start up front. We'll have Younger Blout on the bench along with Kieran Tierney and Ruben Diaz. Ricardo Esparza and Roman Velasquez with Gudinho and Valette on the bench. They line up with their similar 4-4-2 formation. I don't really see any major differences in terms of what they had in the first leg. So, yeah, we'll get into it. Hopefully it's a comfortable game and we'll make it through to the semi-finals. And we'll kick off against Juventus shooting from right to left. Now, something I didn't even mention at the beginning of the season was that our board actually expect us to get the Champions League final. I didn't have any sort of say in that. I didn't decide that's what I was going to pick. That was the minimum expectation for the Champions League. So for us to keep the board happy, we actually have to get to the final and we have to get past Juventus to get the semis. So we'll pick up this highlight here with Guendouzi in the centre. Picks out Slough up front, who's got Milagres on the left-hand side. Luis Enrique Aranza's got a lot of space. Can he find someone in the box? He can. Phil Foden is there. Gives us the 1-0 lead away from home and an away goal, which pretty much confirms we're through, if we weren't already. As you can see here, Slough finds a good pass out at this left-hand side. Milagres' first-time pass to Luis Enrique Aranza down the flank, and Phil Foden's arriving late into the box. Gets his shot on target. And our Sunderland fans are gone mental. Highlight Guendouzi with the corner in. It's cleared by Handžić. And Luis Enrique Aranza got in the box now. Takes the strike. He hits the bar. Manchester City have levelled against Paris Saint-Germain in the other ties. Manchester United have taken the league. And Red Bull Leipzig have taken the lead. Very interesting. Spatafora gets the ball in the box now. But Pickford claims amongst a body of players. So he's done well there. Guendouzi has the ball now in the centre. Phil Foden to Lincoln. He's got the overlap from Milagres. Can he find Luis Enrique Aranza in the flank? He can. Takes the strike, but it's not on target. Lincoln has picked up a knock, so before this highlight continues, I'm going to get him off straight away. I'll bring Valette on in his place. But we'll pick up the highlight here on the left-hand side for Juventus. Bentancur to Handžić. Oh, there's a lot of space for the right back, but they couldn't find him. It's still a lot of space for him, but they're not picking him out. Spatafora is now in the box with the ball. Oh, he takes the strike and he hits the post. That was very close. The danger's not over. Now it is. Milagres now down this left-hand side finds an excellent ball down for Luis Enrique Aranza on the left-hand side. Gets the ball in the box. Slough. Oh, I should be finishing that or should be 2-0 up. That's it. Half-time. 1-0 Sunderland. 6-1 in aggregate. Get the boys back out. And let's see what we can do in the second half. Highlight now. Phil Foden with the free kick into the box. But Juventus have got a clear and now they can break. No, they cannot because Jose Luis is there. Luis Enrique Aranza's got the ball on the left-hand side. Gets the ball in. Valette didn't get there before the keeper. Luis Enrique Aranza now driving out the defence. He gets challenged, but Guendouzi's there. Valette to Luis Enrique Aranza. Oh, he hits the post, and the keeper eventually manages to get in his hands, but that was very close. This very same highlight is now over. And a new one has emerged. Luis Enrique Aranza now with the ball. Phil Foden's got it now. Got a lot of space for Alphonse on the right-hand side. It wasn't a great pass, but Slough's there. Gets the ball in back post. Luis Enrique Aranza's there, completely unmarked. That makes it 2-0 Sunderland. 7-1 on aggregate. Phil Foden with a questionable pass out to Alphonse, but he makes it work. Finds Slough down the flank, who gets the ball in back post. Lovely, lovely ball. Luis Enrique Aranza's there. Not a man even close to him. 60 minutes in now. We're going to make some changes just to freshen things up. Milagres come on off for Tierney, and I'm not going to make another one because I completely forgot Lincoln's already went off. Setting off's just flying by. One last change. We'll bring on Esparza for Guendouzi. Make sure he doesn't get sent off. And that's it. The setting off is just absolutely flown by, which is absolutely fine by me. Esparza to Slough. Blow the whistle, ref. That's it. 2-0 Sunderland on the night. 7-1 on aggregate. Let's go take a look, see who else is through. Of course, Manchester City are through. But Real Madrid did beat Manchester United on the night, and Red Bull Leipzig beat Atletico Madrid. Our old boy, Christian Nievas, actually got the goal for them. We sold him at the beginning of the season for 34 million. I want Red Bull Leipzig. I don't want Manchester City. The semi-final draw is in 2 days, so we will get there, and I'll do the draw live. Right, the semi-final draw is upon us. Who do we want? We want Red Bull Leipzig or Real Madrid. I'd take either of them. I do not want Manchester City. I want to play them in the final. So we'll click on automatic draw. We'll see who is first out. Red Bull Leipzig first out. Come on, let us play them. Manchester City. So we do get Real Madrid. We avoid Manchester City. Unfortunately, we're at home in the first leg, which is not ideal. But I think that was our second best opportunity to get through to the final. Well, a relatively simple tie against Juventus. We dominated in the first leg, which meant it was pretty much a done deal after that. And Real Madrid will be coming up next episode. If you have enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like. And if you're enjoying my content, why are you not subscribed? But until next time, take it easy.